Hi, Mr. Brown. How are you doing today? Good. Well, my name is Robin, and I'll be your nurse from the 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. shift. I'm here to kind of just talk to you, and then the doctor has ordered that you get some insulin today. So we're going to go ahead and get that done. You've already had your AccuCheck done, so that's good. Can you give me your name and date of birth? Perfect. And allergies? Perfect. It all looks good. Do you remember the last time you had insulin? Perfect. Do you know where they did that? In the back of your right arm? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and look at that. And there is some bruising, so we don't want to give him insulin again there. We want to give the back of his arm a rest. And that's a good spot to give insulin, as there's plenty of SubQ tissue. You can also give insulin in the vastus lateralis region, and that looks like that's bruising a little too, so we're going to avoid that area as well. And a very common spot is also the abdomen. So we're going to look in the abdomen around the umbilicus region, and there doesn't seem to be any bruising. So are you okay if we give that in the abdomen area? Perfect, that sounds great. Now when giving insulin and drawing it up, I'm going to need a second nurse to verify all those with me. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the med room and get your insulin ready with that second nurse. Your bed's in the lowest position, side rails up, bed is locked. Call light's in your reach. Is there anything I can get you right now before I go to do that? Okay, well if you need anything, just don't hesitate. Go ahead and put your call light on and I'll be in, all right? I'll go get that prepared. Go to the med room. I'm going to verify here. The physician order states 22 units of NPH insulin, which is intermediate, and 15 units of regular insulin, which is immediate insulin. So that's what his order says. I'll check the MAR here, and it says 22 units NPH, 15 units regular, so that matches. I'm going to check my EMAR, which would be here, which also states 22 units of NPH and 15 units of regular insulin. So it all match. They're all for Paul Brown. So that looks good. I'm going to go ahead and get my U100 insulin syringe. Here's my NPH and regular, and my alcohol wipes here. So with regular insulin, you don't need to roll or shake that, but with NPH insulin, which is cloudy, we are going to want to roll that. Don't ever shake it, just roll. Looks like it's well mixed there. I do have a second nurse in here in the med room to verify my amounts. So we're going to go ahead and clean the top of our vials here, as they aren't capped. Alright. And you always want to give what you're going to take. So we are going to put 22 units of air into our syringe here. Twenty-two. So we'll go ahead and put the 22 units of air. Pull that back out. And then regular again is 15 units. So we're going to get 15 units of air. Now when doing 2 insulins, you never want to go from clear or from cloudy to clear. You want to go from clear to cloudy. So here's my 15 units of air. And because I've already put the air in the cloudy one, we can go ahead and draw up the regular insulin. So there's my 15 units of air. I'm going to go ahead and draw up the 15 units. Okay, and I'm going to have my second nurse, Morgan, verify that I did draw up 15 units of regular.
Yep.
All right, so I can go ahead and take that out. Perfect. Now I've already put the air in my NPH insulin, so, and we're gonna need 22 units of that. So our total in the syringe should be 37 units. So we're gonna go ahead and pull the cloudy. All right, so I'm again gonna have Nurse Morgan here verify that I did in fact do 22 units, making it 37 in my syringe.
Yep.
Perfect, thank you, Morgan. And because I didn't inject this syringe into our patient, I can go ahead and do this scoop and swoop maneuver to recap my needle. All right, and I'm gonna wanna label that. Tape here. All right, so what you're gonna wanna label is I'm gonna go ahead and put Paul's name and date of birth. I'm gonna write that I did that there's 22 units of MPH insulin, and I'm also going to write that I have 15 units of regular insulin. I'm going to put my initials and the time that I drew up the insulin, which would be 1310, and I initialed. So I'm going to put this here. You want to make sure you don't cover up where your mark is. You always want to be able to see that. So I'm again looking I have 37 units in here, 22 MPH and 15 regular, and that totals 37. So I think we are good here. All right, we can go ahead and head back into Mr. Brown's room now. All right. Hi, Mr. Brown. It is Robin again. How are you doing? Good. I have your insulin here. It was verified by Nurse Morgan while I was preparing it, so all our amounts are good. Can you verify your name and date of birth for me again? Perfect. And allergies? Perfect. And again, we did discuss that we're going to go ahead and do this in your abdomen. So we're going to kind of give him as much dignity as possible here. And you always want, when you're doing this, you want to be able to pinch an inch of SubQ tissue. If you can, then you can insert the needle at a 90-degree angle. If you are unable to, then you should insert the needle at a 45-degree angle. All right, Mr. Brown, I have your insulin, and I'm going to go ahead and check one more time here. We have 37 units, 22 units NPH, and 15 of regular, equaling 37. So everything checks out good. So we're gonna do it on the right side here of his abdomen. So I'm gonna go ahead and cleanse the area, and you wanna start inner and then cleanse outward. All right, 37, perfect. Uncap this. My needle is not bent, so it is okay to use. And I'm able to squeeze an inch, so I'm gonna go ahead and go at a 90-degree angle. A little poke, Mr. Brown. Perfect. You're doing great. All right, we're gonna activate the safety. Perfect. How are you doing, Mr. Brown? Very good. Everything looks good here. Let's go ahead and cover you back up. All right, Mr. Brown, is there anything else I can get for you? No? All right. The bed is in the lowest position and locked. Side rails are up. You have your call light here. You have ice water. Is there anything else I can get? Nope. All right. Well, you just turn your call light on if you need anything. Don't hesitate. All right. Thanks, Mr. Brown. So I'm going to come and document the insulin that I prepared. So I'm going to put that I gave 22 units of MPH, 15 units of regular, and I gave it in the right abdomen. I'm going to write what time I gave it, which is 13:15. I'm going to go ahead and initial it. And then I would come down here and sign. And I would put my initials. That way if somebody comes and looks at this, they'll know that they can look at the initials and might not recognize it, so they can come down here and see this. And because again we need a second nurse for this, I'm going to go ahead and have Morgan initial for me. Perfect. Sounds great. All right, Mr. Brown, thank you. I'll see you later, okay?